Yeah.
I just want to see this rubber band so bad.
Is it gonna rubber band? And apparently it'll just stop instantly on the
Yeah,
time.
it's just gonna stop.
And the reason I
You would at least have like a weird animation for it to just
Oh, the sound's changing. Sound's changing. Mike.
Yes.
Where are they on here?
Okay, go to Joker and then B and B split.
Those are the X ones?
Yep. It's like approaching an orbit.
You guys, I think honestly, we're entering some sort of subspace. Like we're entering another.
The lines are all
We're entering. Our numbers are so
color.
high.
I need to move.
Well, I'm going. Yeah, no, we have no idea what happens afterwards. Once you hit it, space-time as you know it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think there is. We are alright. You know what I meant?
Wait, so
We are at a
super
point
weird.
where time.
That's super weird.
What?
if you go
It's just stopped.
past lights,
The thing. We are at a point.
Guys, stop yelling. Stop yelling. Stop yelling. I told you we'd be back. Hi.
Hi, we're back here.
Yeah.
Live there.
Guys,
Good.
shut up. All right, so hey,
Hey, everybody.
how you doing? So we're actually going to take a brief moment here to kind of show you the Peter Makes Milwaukee segment here.
That's right.
Pete, how long have you been working on this here?
The map itself actually was a collaboration between me and another guy on the Steam Workshop to make the map of Milwaukee. During the stream, I'll be filling it in as close as we possibly can get here.
So what resources are you? Oh, yeah. Let's take a look here. Oh,
There
you've
you
actually
go.
already started naming
So,
it. No,
yeah,
Milwaukee
we got
Valley.
some names set up here. Rotate on
Oh,
here.
okay. So this is that's 94 right there.
Yep.
All right.
Get out of this mode here and actually
Let's start taking a look.
rotate. So,
okay.
well, that's north.
All right. So
Now up is north.
so this is where we're starting.
Yes.
Why don't you show us a little bit around about what's been done so far?
Sure. So we've got our freeway system in place. That was the main
Hold on.
thing. We're going to go shut that noise off.
You need to turn off the big
Finally.
rings.
So,
Unless you wanted to hear screeching the entire time.
yeah, right.
You guys like?
Yeah.
Did you guys want to hear screeching the whole time?
I
Because
don't.
They still have the big rigs backing up right now. It's
Wow. All right.
I've got to imagine that it's going to crash at some
I get to follow that.
Yes. So yeah, where are we?
we are standing right here's Lake Michigan, looking west towards downtown.
This does look kind of familiar already, actually.
We've got some issues, but that's what we're here to fix for the next 6 hours or so.
Okay, so we got I'm assuming that's Discovery World, right?
There's
there.
Discovery World. Yep.
There's Discovery
World.
Okay.
There's the art museum. Kind of became a giant ball, but you know whatever.
It works.
There's that's obviously Abraham Lincoln.
There we go. Yeah, that looks about right.
And that's obviously the U.S. Bank Tower. So, and here's Lincoln Memorial Drive. Got the east side going on over here. Got nice parks.
Oh, thank you to Jackbox Games for giving us a quick tweet. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
And so, it's pretty much where we're starting out right now. We got a couple of industry here in the valley.
That's kind of interesting that you started in the Menominee Valley as well there. That's
It was mainly because I was trying to figure out where to put a power plant. And there is a coal-fired power plant in the valley that's represented right here. So
fair enough. All right. So, and basically that's the extent of what you have built up. Except I noticed you've got a little bit of something going on down there.
Yeah, this is going to be that crazy interchange on the south side of town there.
That one that if you take the wrong way, or if you end up going the wrong way, you end up like in a salt mill or something.
Correct.
Like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something fun like that.
Yeah.
So we've got the Hone Bridge here. I've got the port.
Two-thirds of the screen. Let me check that out here. Go ahead.
Sure thing. But this is the map we're going to build off of.
Sweet.
So I'm gonna throw this live here. We've got some issues with people dying. We'll fix that. That's part of good urban planning.
Well, it is Milwaukee, so it does happen.
We'll get there.
So you prepped this already, huh? Like some
This
of it?
is, yeah, this is already somewhat prepped.
Okay.
A bunch
So
of...
that's 43,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
That's 45.
Yep.
That's 41.
This is, yeah, it's because the stadium
Okay.
is gonna go right about there in that section.
Alright.
So,
So you can build like a stadium too, huh?
yeah, I've got a stadium ready to go as soon as we
Oh.
get out that far.
Sure.
I've been trying to make sure that everything's connected to power and water first, just to help that along.
Okay.
But otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna.
So you have to build off from that centerpiece, huh?
Yes, pretty much. I'm gonna build off. Kind of gonna build in an L shape here, build up downtown,
Okay.
build up the valley here, and then go from there. So we've got our first big residential neighborhood here on the east side,
Yeah.
and we're gonna go from there.
Pretty sweet. So it's gonna stream like what you're doing on here. Huh?
Yes, exactly. It's gonna be for the next 6 hours. If you go to my stream page, it'll be live. I'm gonna be sitting behind them all.
For 6 hours.
Yes, that's the
Building
plan.
the city.
I've done it before, so
Oh my gosh. Mike's gonna have to come back here with this periscope and show your office and what you're
yes,
doing.
yes. They've really built me up a nice little office here.
Yeah, I know. It's
This is
so
the-
awesome.
I opened it to check the doors and I'm ready to run.
This is the best office I've ever had in my life, so. Building there.
How's it going, Mr. Pete?
Yeah,
It's going, we're getting there. We got it started.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're gaining population, losing money, so okay, that's
Do you want me to take this thing for you, sir?
sure if you
Wanna
would.
put it away?
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. That's
Yeah.
I brought along all my textbooks,
Yes, I'll
so
file it over here in the library for you, sir.
thank you. When we get stuck,
Yes.
I've got plenty to go off of.
All right.
Yeah. So, Pete, you're kind of an expert when it comes to the city, right?
I'm self-declared, yes. This is, born, bred, raised in Milwaukee. I love it. I mean, this is my hometown. It's awesome.
Yes.
So
That's important, man.
we're gonna recreate this as close as we possibly can. I'm gonna use some embellishments, obviously, and a lot of it I'm just gonna try and create from memory. It's actually a technique that's used in mapping called mind mapping, where you just think about what's important to you and then go from there. So that's kind of why I started with the freeway system, because I'm able to build the rest of it off of that.
Well, it's a really good start there. So where are you moving on to next? Now that you've got downtown taken care
So
of,
we're gonna-
and the lakefront drive there.
Correct. We're going to focus on the downtown area. This side here, which historically was called Juneau Town, one of the first settlements that later became Milwaukee. So you'll notice already too, we've got the streets don't exactly line up because there's a lot of old planning that's meshed with new planning that's meshed with a lot of urban renewal projects
It's a
and that
little bit
kind
weird
of stuff.
sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And it's even going to get weirder with all the new stuff that's getting built downtown right now.
correct.
And with the streetcar and everything.
Yes, I was actually looking to see if I could
Are we-
include a streetcar somewhere.
Yeah.
I've got a bus system going.
It's
so.
okay. The streetcar
Well,
isn't built yet
well-
in Milwaukee, so we can hold off on it in City Skyline Milwaukee. Which,
Exactly.
by the way, thank you, Paradox Interactive.
Paradox. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Paradox Interactive, for providing us with a giveaway of this. If you go to buttonmashbash.org, you can actually check out all the cool prizes. One of which is a Steam or a PC game pack, and it includes City Skylines.
Yes.
So you can enjoy building your own facility of a somewhat large U.S. city. So, or just make your own thing.
Do whatever you want to do. I mean, this is, after SimCity, this
Yeah.
kind of became the next heir to the city simulation throne, if you want.
Oh, and it's fantastic. I really
great.
enjoy
It's
this game.
Just the number of scenarios they throw at you, and the number of things you can do and build.
So Goro Rules says that he lived in Milwaukee at some point. Is there an option to set the crime level to 1,000?
No, but we did actually have, for earlier this morning, when I was building stuff, we have the Harley Museum added in over here.
Oh, you've already gotten the Harley Museum added.
It's right there.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was our hotbed of crime for some reason, so we fixed that.
It's all those unruly bikers.
I don't know. So...
Oh, are those bridges that you have there? We actually that looks a lot like the Hone Bridge there.
That does look close to the Hone Bridge, but this is actually the 6th Street Viaduct, which we can go over right now.
Oh, we're doing very well actually.
Ah,
So we come over the Menominee River here and the canals.
that's sharp.
You've got this fun intersection where we've got there's the Harley Museum again.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the looking down into the valley, and then beyond. So there'll be a number of viaducts that need to be built too. There's a
Rad.
16th Street Viaduct and a 27th Street Viaduct I also need to build over the valley, but we'll get there as we get there. So
Well, it's looking great so far here. So let's keep building on to our downtown here. You might be actually right now you're hitting the like Myad area, aren't you? Or not Myad. I'm sorry, I'm going the wrong direction here.
Other way. It's that other way.
The Milwaukee School of Engineering.
Yes, MSOE would be about in here.
Okay.
So I've got some commercial and some residential ready to go there.
That's super cool. And what's neat is you're also working on a lot of the background stuff too. You're you're not just creating a cookie cutter cardboard city here. You're actually like building the infrastructure around it too as well, right?
Yes, I'm trying to follow the grid system as much as I possibly can.
See, that's super impressive here. I'm just really excited to see where you're up here once you decide to call it a day here on Milwaukee.
So, yeah, and I believe you guys will be checking back in with me throughout the entire
We totally
thing.
will. We're going to stick with you here for a little bit because we're still working on getting some video stuff straightened out.
Sure thing.
But let me just take a look here.
Wherever we're at. Wherever we left our truck.
So I'm going to check in on something off screen here, but Pete, if you want to engage the viewers with your process here on this.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Sure thing. So we are continuing to. I've got some residential and some commercial demand, so that's what I'm going to work on next. This game tends to move along with the demands, so I'm going to try and keep. It's a mix of keeping the game happy and keeping it moving along while being able to actually build a somewhat accurate Milwaukee. Build up our east side here.
I kind of ran that one past.
You know what? It's going.
Dude, I think I saw the Home Bridge earlier. Did I see the Home Bridge?
You did see the Home Bridge.
Dude, that's awesome that I could recognize it already.
There, got it right going
Yeah,
across
dude.
there. So
This is awesome.
we
Yeah,
should
these two
actually
little
have-
things right here, you're not supposed to be able to go in there, because this is like, where you get on.
Yes.
And I once took my moped, and I just cruised around on these like industrial docks, like under the Home Bridge.
Okay.
It was a great afternoon.
If you can get down there and nobody catches you, sure.
Yeah, it was like Saturday or Sunday, and like no one was there, but for some reason all the gates were open. So
There
it was
is-
just like
It is actually
ding,
weird.
ding, 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 ding.
There is a public park that's almost underneath the Home Bridge. That was there from.
Well, that's more on the downtown side, isn't it?
Well, there's
Not
one
the
there.
View side.
There's one there, but there's one that's
Because where I
almost
was
like.
definitely like some factories. And
Yeah,
stuff.
this in like the harbor area.
Yeah.
It's on Jones Island, which I can go ahead and label for everybody here.
Hey. I didn't even know that island had a name, so like, thank you, Peter.
Right here. This was actually originally a fishing village.
Okay.
Now it's our harbor and waste treatment plant.
Was there like a cool event by which they were brought into the fold? Was there like a battle?
It just kind of fishing got bought out. I mean,
Okay.
as an industry, it disappeared.
I'm gonna pretend you said fishing got fought out. Like they literally
There was
had to
battle.
fight the fishermen,
There was-
and
yeah,
every
there
time
was-
the
there was
fishermen
the- there was
lost, like
the-
they had to convert, they had to stop
Well-
doing that for their like livelihoods.
I mean, in the history of Milwaukee, there was a war called the Bridge War,
Yeah, I know, dude. That's what I'm
which is where.
trying to bring that up.
So back here, as I was explaining before, where the grid changes here between this would have been Kilbourne Town and Juneau Town, and over here would be Walker's Point. I'll label all these neighbors as we go through.
Yeah, as you build them.
They were three different founding fathers of Milwaukee, and Juneau and Kilbourne didn't get along at all.
Yeah, they were like the mayors of their own little like
They were there, yeah,
fiefdoms,
exactly.
basically.
They were,
They're like
and
the feudal lords of old Milwaukee.
they didn't want to combine to build Milwaukee, and so before they settled, they refused to build a bridge across the Milwaukee River here.
Okay.
So you had a ferry that would go across, and that was it.
Taking you from Pawnee to Eagleton?
Yes, yes. Yes, let's put it in Parks and Rec terms. Exactly. So Pawnee.
I hate those Juneau Town punks.
So Juneau Town.
Is it really just called Juneau Town?
Yeah,
Like, you couldn't
Juneau
think of
Town
any
would
better
go-
name
They were both men with huge egos. They named their own cities after themselves.
after them.
So Juneau built a bridge across the Milwaukee River. Kilbourne's people went over in the middle of the night and tore it all down.
Okay.
As retaliation, Kilbourne Town had a cannon. And this is like 1840s, 1850s.
It's like a legit like Revolutionary War
yeah,
cannon.
post-Revolutionary War cannon that somebody had hauled over from the east.
Awesome.
So they set up the cannon on the banks of the river, aimed at Juneau's cabin,
And it's like, we dare you, dude. We dare you to tear our bridge down.
and they realized they didn't have any cannonballs.
Yeah.
So there was a clockmaker in town, and he had a bunch of spare pieces from his clocks. So they stuffed the cannon full of spare clock pieces, gears, and like clock faces and hands, and like anything they could just find, just like trash. And then somebody came across the river and said, "Wait a minute, Juneau's daughter is sick. This would be ungentlemanly of us to fire this cannon." So they never fired the cannon. Later
Do
on,
we still have the pieces of the clock as
no,
like
we don't-
Milwaukee,
no,
like,
all that stuff's gone.
legendary, like, lore, like booty?
Well, Juneau went on to found a few other cities, most famously Juneau, Alaska.
Oh, there you go.
So,
Wait, how did he, like, this was like the 1840s. Why did he go from Wisconsin to Alaska?
because gold. He heard there was gold in Alaska, so he went
There's
up to
gold in them,
Alaska.
there are frozen, horrible,
Yep.
like barren hills.
Correct. And then he got very ill in Alaska, traveled all the way back down to Florida, and that's where he passed away.
Nice.
But all three founding
Dude,
fathers
like, you gotta be
are-
like rich too to like
Oh, yes.
travel like cross country in like the 1840s.
Well, part of it was, so Kilbourne said, "I declare everything from Lake Michigan here out to the river. That's going to be my town." And so Juneau's like, "Fine, I declare everything from the Milwaukee River here all the way to the
I plant this flag in the name of Spain.
all the way to the Mississippi River." So he
Nice.
pretty much declared the majority of the state of Wisconsin as his village.
Nice. Like
Well,
you do.
Obviously, that once again took
Am I
down
like
Kilbourne.
keeping you from like doing like real life?
No, it's
work
fine,
here?
this works.
Okay.
And I can actually start the simulator again and explain as we go along here. But there were a number of just very weird stories like that. It was actually Kilbourne Town was one of the first cities to have wooden sidewalks installed
Okay. Wooden
because
sidewalks?
because Kilbourne's wife was a feminist, and she one day had the audacity to wear jeans. First of all, if you're rich, you don't wear jeans.
No.
Second of all, if you're a woman, why
You
do
don't
you
wear
wear
pants.
pants?
Yeah.
So,
Where's your 50
to
petticoats?
defend it from this disgrace, Kilbourne put down the wooden sidewalk so that she at least wouldn't get dirty.
Wooden sidewalks.
Yep. So,
Dude, I'm gonna found my own town and have wooden sidewalks.
it's just a number
Women
of...
can wear jeans whenever they want.
That was the point. And that was like a big cultural outrage. Like, oh, the founder of Milwaukee's letting his wife walk around in jeans.
Jeans.
They still want to vote and drive.
Correct.
This is lucky jeans.
They were just... The history of Milwaukee is made up of a lot of weird tales like that, and part of it has to do with there's 3 different guys trying to like run a city in the same general area.
Ladies and gentlemen of the stream, for more tasteful and excellent and exquisite Milwaukee history lessons, Peter Metzger is generally found at the local establishment Bernhardt's for beers, Mondays starting at 9 p.m.
There you go. Thanks. I will be down there.
I'll leave you with that plug.
Well, not this weekend, no.
No, not this Monday.
Right now.
Not this Monday.
Peter is capable of being multiple
So
places.
we had Juno and Kilborn fighting each other over who was going to get the best part of the city. We had a guy by the name of George Walker, who was down by Jones Island here, setting up what was called Walker's Point, which was pretty much a swamp at that point. And he squatted at the age of 16 and said, "Oh, this is my territory." Sent some forged documents back to the United States Congress, who was the only person to approve, because this is before Wisconsin was a state, you had to approve it's a territory, and it passed. Forged documents passed.
He was 16 years
He was
old.
16. He put down he was 22.
Sweet.
Because you had to be 21 to found, or 20 or 21 to make your own territory or whatever. So, Kilborn and Juno are fighting amongst each other. George Walker says, "I'm going to build a port." And he builds the first harbor in town. And that's pretty much thanks to him building that harbor. That's how Milwaukee became famous. Our biggest export for many, many years was grain. Because we had a harbor, we had the connection to Lake Michigan, to the St. Lawrence Seaway, etc., etc., etc. Until the invention of the railroad, Milwaukee was bigger than Chicago. So if it hadn't been for the railroad,
Dawn
those railroads, we'd still be king. But yeah, throughout it was wheat, and everybody thinks that Milwaukee's the brew city. Only 1 year did we have beer as our main export, 1899. Then with the Industrial Revolution, it was manufacturing. So we had a lot of machine shops, a lot of manufacturing. There was a big promotional poster, Civic Pride poster at the time, that just read "Milwaukee feeds and supplies the world," because we were feeding them grain and we were supplying them with machinery, and they were able to process the grain, and it was happening times. To the point where we grew from being founded as a city in 1846 to about the 1960s, where we grew the city of Milwaukee itself grew to approximately 800,000 people. The metropolitan area was about 1.5 million at that point. Now we're back down to about 600,000 and about a million in the metropolitan area. So we have been slowly gaining population back since 2000. There's been a resurgence downtown, a lot of condos and residences being built. Like you see, a lot of Rust Belt cities have done the same thing. So it's a good time to be in Milwaukee right now, because we are picking up our development pace. We are growing faster than we've seen in many decades.
So I had a question. Someone
Yes.
told this, and I don't know if it's true, but you would know. Down by the river, there used to be low-income housing. Is that true?
Down the
like
Milwaukee
further
River?
up, yeah, by the Milwaukee River, like up by the east side, there used to be
Yes.
like low-income.
So what it was is a lot of factories were built right along the river, a lot of tanneries, that's the leather making business, a lot of slaughterhouses, and just a lot of smelly, dirty, disgusting industries. So the workers got to live in the houses closest to their workplace, meaning it was the disgusting ones. Up by is a neighborhood called Brewer's Hill, which is literally on a hill above all of this, where the pollution didn't go to.
Yeah.
That's where all the rich people built their houses.
Okay.
So yes, there was, and there's still a few examples. If you're in Milwaukee, the Tavern Wolski's, it's on Pulaski Street. It's the crookedest street in Milwaukee. That neighborhood still maintains a lot of low-income housing. There's a lot of, you'll find like 2 or 3 houses per lot, and they're duplexes or triplexes or quadplexes. So you can have like 12 families in one little lot. And immigrants could do that because they could live in one unit and rent out the rest of the units to new arrivals. And so that was just a chain that happened a lot. A lot of Germans did that, a lot of Italians did that, but especially a lot of Polish immigrants did that. And Polish immigrants were very proud of their houses. they would always build out of brick. They would spend the extra money to build out of brick. So a lot of their houses still survive to this day because they're just well constructed. But they would do what's called the Polish flat, which is where they would build their first, a little one-story house, live there for a bit, then take out a mortgage on that property, jack the house up, build underneath it, live downstairs, and their first floor become their second floor and rent that out.
Oh, wow.
Known as the Polish flat.
Oh.
And it's...
You'd know about the amusement park, too, in Shorewood.
Yes. Yeah, there was that park in Shorewood that was right along the river.
And there's still stuff left from it, too, that, in Hubbard Park, there's that archway or whatever
Yes,
it is.
yes.
And that used to be, what, like a drainage for the river or something? Like the holes? Or was that actually, like, the entrance of the park?
That arch was the entrance to the park, and then there was a lot of pumping stations along there to get water out of the river, because on that end of the river, upstream was much cleaner than downstream. Milwaukee dumped a lot of sewage in its river for a long time, and that was its main source of commerce, and that was also where people were drinking out of, so they decided to move all the water to Shorewood, and up to, there's the North Point water tower.
Right.
Looks a little bit like a castle. I've got a fake one of that actually in here. This is Lincoln Memorial Drive here.
Nice!
So
That is so accurate.
Yeah!
ignore the building on fire.
Ignore the fire.
I hope
Yes.
Oh, building
okay,
fire.
okay, it's being taken care of. We're fine.
There you
Okay.
go.
All right.
This is where I go walk. Oh yeah, there's like
There.
Columbia
And
Hospital.
that does
Yeah,
happen
there's
along
Columbia
that
Hospital.
road sometimes.
And there is the water tower right there. Yeah, I got little pedestrians and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, and the water tower.
Yeah, this little
this is
view
like
here
my
is
neighborhood.
actually an add-on to the game. It's called first person mode, obviously. You know, just as it sounds, just exactly what it sounds is, but you can just hit tab and it'll let you almost just walk around your own city. So, lets you look at everything from a whole different viewpoint.
This is really,
That is
really
really
cool.
cool.
Yeah. That's
So,
really well done.
I've still got some demand for residential. We're going to keep building residential. Still got people wanting to move into Milwaukee, so we'll just keep doing this.
So we just want to thank all the folks that are sticking around. We actually are gaining viewers on this, so this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Alright.
this is.
People love the city. This is awesome.
And I should mention, during this time, these next 6 hours I'm going to be here in my little cubicle. Anybody who donates to my campaign, I have an anonymous donor who will match your donation up to $500. So the next $500 I raise will be matched by $500.
Awesome.
Really appreciate that, guys. So that's my donation page only, Peter.
Awesome.
So
Donate to
let's rock
Peter.
that, yes.
Yeah. Donate to Peter. Let's get some extra money out of this.
And we will be, jumping back and forth to this throughout the stream. So it's not going to be pure 6 hours of this, but I wouldn't mind that. I mean, this is probably my favorite game that's out right now. I've always been a SimCity junkie, and I just feel like this is the next step.
It's pretty much like very similar, right?
It is very similar. I like it because it throws in a lot of other random problems I was never. I mean, it's more traffic and that kind of stuff too, but also like you got to build different industrial zones and different specializations. There's like manufacturing and agriculture and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Different commercial type zones.
Yeah, so it's not
there's-
just like residential, commercial, industrial.
Yeah. There's like entertainment districts, tourism districts.
Don't forget about the bars, because
So
Milwaukee sure has
got-
enough of
got-
those.
Got plenty of bars. I was actually looking to see from the Steam Workshop today what other bars could I download. There's not a whole lot of taverns out there yet.
Aw.
So modding community, please. I need some more taverns in my town.
Yeah, that's surprising. I figured it'd be flooded. with
Yeah.
bars. Some of these modders, man.
I mean, that is the other nice thing about this community, this gaming community, though, is there's a lot of good mods coming out, and it's been amazing. Like a lot of the stuff I've seen. I mean, this map was custom built by a team of people that made this just for this game. So I'm gonna, try and do a mix here. I've got to kind of keep up with the demand as you keep the gameplay going.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll get to a point where nothing can be built. But
Yeah, is this similar to SimCity where like you have to balance the tax rate?
yeah, yes, there's all of that
all
sort of
that
stuff.
like that?
I am playing in super cheating mode right now, where money doesn't matter, but
Hey, it's
I'm
like
gonna
real
try.
life. Money never matters.
Hey, right?
Just build whatever.
Yep. So and it's the same thing too. You've got demand for residential,
Right.
commercial, industrial. So
People move out, move in.
and now I have a giant water issue.
If I may take a brief moment, thank you, Carl, for the donation to Mike K's campaign, $50. And
Oh, squats.
I don't know if that was
He do
intended.
squats.
Yeah, he's gotta do
That's
some
what he said he
squats.
would do
gotta
until
do
he
some
puked.
squats.
So.
Well, Carl has made a $50 donation and said that he will be sharing our stream and our campaign with friends and family on Facebook. Also, thank you very much, Carl, and I'll pass on the good word to Mike there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put the harbor of Milwaukee in right there.
41 minutes.
The heart?
The harbor's
Oh,
here
the
now.
harbor. Oh,
So-
okay. So that's the one that you're saying that 16-year-old built, or is that the other one?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Well, at that point, he finally got all straightened out in the end after a while. But yeah, at the age of 16, he just found, he's like, no, I'm just going to find my own territory.
I'm just-
Forge these federal documents, send them in. Because, I mean, it had to be delivered by mail then. So it just took forever and nobody really checked anything.
Mm.
Just the right time at the right place. There's a number of other cities too that got founded just by, oh, happen to be the first person here, I'm gonna name this whatever the heck I'm gonna name
Yep.
this.
That's usually how it works, right?
So,
Most
yes, it
places
is.
in America.
As a matter of fact, Milwaukee's biggest suburb, West Allis, was not supposed to be named West Allis.
Go
It's
on.
supposed to be named Blue Mound. There's a road named Blue Mound now. But Allis Company, Allis Chalmers, they were the biggest employer at that time. In the middle of the night, they sent a man on horseback to Madison. It's about 80 miles away, 80 miles
On
west.
horseback,
On horseback,
too?
yep. So, because the man on horseback beat the man on mail, this is the real U.S. Postal Service, and he got there first, so they got to name the town West Allis, Wisconsin,
Oh, instead of Blue Mound.
instead of Blue Mound.
Who knows how things would have happened had it been named Blue,
Blue Mound.
I mean, you disrupted the flag and indeed.
Pretty much. If it was first come, first served to name a town.
Oh, jeez. Where are we? Peter, look over for just a second.
We've still had that crazy truck game going on.
The heck?
Look,
It hasn't crashed yet.
Yeah.
there has to be a significance there.
How many
What's that mean?
how many light years away are we now?
I don't know.
1657.
Alright. The more important question is, what is the star date?
What
Now
star date
that-
is my truck at?
Now the truck has begun.
Well, they're moving so fast that they're not gonna age. Like our time's gonna keep going, but they're not gonna. Like they're essentially moving at an optimized.
Oh, not time. Yeah, 0, but speed keeps happening.
So wait, there's no point.
Hopefully that helps. I had some water issues over here before, but I think we took care of that.
I mean, we're probably at like 13 trillion.
But alright.
So, am I right that the big building there on the left is the U.S. Bank Tower there?
Yeah, it's about as good as we can do with that. But yep, I might swap it out for another building later on. We'll see. But for now, it's kind of my placeholder.
And then, what's that other big building there?
That's the Kilbourne Tower and Wisconsin Club Towers are two tall condominium buildings. Another developers are jerks story.
Oh.
The Kilbourne Tower was built first, kind of a boxy square building. It's got a greenish hue to it. And then the Wisconsin Club Tower got built, and there are all these views that the Kilbourne Tower is sold for. Now they just face the Wisconsin Club Tower. So, I mean, there's two tall residential towers about 30 feet apart from each other, which is just the people that bought early in Kilbourne kind of got screwed over on that one because now their living room space somebody else's building.
So hey, let's zoom in for some brand synergy here. Do you have Mason Street and 42 Lounge in there?
Approximately where there would be. I don't have. there's so many streets in Milwaukee that if I build so many so close together, it starts to kind of glitch the game out. But they'd be about here or so. So we've got some, you know, like.
So 42 Lounge right now appears to be
I think it's this rip-off Denny's actually.
It's a rip-off Denny's.
Yeah.
Is that 42 Lounge's new business model?
Yes, to rip off Denny's.
Rip-off Denny's.
Well, I mean, you know, Denny's food, and after you've had a few too many. So anyway, Penny isn't going to cut it, but it's just like.
No, I mean the food. They have named like rooms over my hand, like fly me to Miami.
It could potentially be this shrimpy sub stand.
Shrimpy subs.
Yep.
Is that even subs here?
Shrimpy, yeah, it's called Shrimpy, I guess. But yeah, once again, this view is this is a mod called First Person. This is a mod called First Person View, and it just allows you to just walk around your city. So,
And also a hot dog.
yeah, and it's the level of detail that they put in that Paradox put into this game is amazing, because like this game was initially programmed to be able to see this close. This is the closest view it used to be able to get. When you go down to this level, I've got like little electrical boxes along the street here. I've got park benches. I've got cars. I've got guys on bicycles, and I've got, you know, pedestrians.
Yeah.
Little playgrounds here.
That playground. That's not an actual playground in the city, is it?
It's representative of Lake Park. So I just stuck a bunch of parks there because in this game, parks help raise land values, and land values along the lake are extremely high. So lots of parks. That's how we're kind of doing this one. But
What's your dad like? Want to meet that dad?
somewhere in the world, this is our world. So.
Okay.
I've also got the After Dark DLC downloaded, so we will have day-night cycles, we will have rush hour traffic, and that kind of
Which I've
stuff.
heard is fantastic.
We do have realistic rush hour traffic, jamming up 94, so yeah. What's that? So, we do have some abandoned buildings. The Bane. But when you take them away, people get happier. See little green happy faces come up. I would call them happy bombs. Because if you do something like really, like for example, I'll plop down a little park here, and suddenly everyone will be really happy. Put in a small playground, and happy bombs!
Alright, so what you're still working on what area right now?
We're still doing the east side here. The east side is known for a lot of dense residential construction, lots of apartment complexes and that sort of thing. I'm doing that right now because residential is my highest demand in the game. So I need to make sure that I keep feeding the game, my game citizens, their demands. There does sometimes come a point where there'll be no demand for anything and it's very hard to get over that hump. So I want to make sure that I build enough to keep the demand high enough, but not so much where I'm suddenly out of things to build, or I can't move the game beyond that. There's not really. Oh, what? The Puddlers represent? We haven't even gotten to Bayview yet. But Cities Skylines, and this is the. Oh yes, no, this is called Cities Skylines on Steam, and it is by Paradox. And this is the newest DLC, the After Dark pack. You can see now it's become nighttime. I've just thrown myself into Lake Michigan, but you can see that, you know, the city is lighting up, and there's traffic lights. If we zoom all the way out, there's little street lights.
It's really red, like it looks a lot like that.
So it's.
Yeah, it's crazy how just even with the bit that you've done so far, you're kind of capturing the skyline very well.
Thank you. I'm trying to, you know. I plead once again to the mod community, since you made this wonderful map for me to use today. More Milwaukee buildings would be so great. I know SimCity 4. There was a fan group of SimCity 4 that was on Simtropolis, I think it was called. It may or may not still exist anymore. But they were making a lot of Milwaukee buildings and Milwaukee tile sets through SimCity 4 had an editor. And after... That's what kept me going between SimCity 4 and SimCity 5 and then City Skylines. But yeah, we're just gonna keep plopping down some residential. Go from there. Another thing I can build is called the Eden Project, which is kind of a sci-fi piece on here. The Eden Project, it's kind of like this self-sustaining biome. It solves hunger and it solves a lot of other things. It removes pollution from air, land, and water. So that really raises up the property values in the simulation. So that really lets us just get taller buildings, have more demand for our city and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to build towards that. Just keep this project moving.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Okay.
No, go ahead.
You didn't capture that.
No.
That's so sad. All right. I'm so sorry that we missed out on this. But this entire time, we've had big rigs over the road racing, continuing backwards. And what just happened, and I am so sorry that we missed this. But we won.
Wait, there's a win to that game? Did we really win?
It said your winner.
What kind of...
It reversed into
Yes?
it reversed across the finish line.
After
At some point,
after 50 minutes of driving in reverse,
We won.
It looped around enough times that we actually won. Like somehow we went across the finish line in some dimension of the game. It is now the game is done. We've beaten big rigs over the road racing.
That is crazy. I didn't think that was possible.
That's insane. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's-
I'm sorry,
that's-
but my mind is blown.
My
right
mind
now.
is also blown right now, so I didn't even know if there was any sort of ending whatsoever to that game. So we're gonna start building towards this Eden project. So it's telling me I need to construct a business park.
What are you talking about? Huh?
And in the actual game, you do work your way around landmarks, and you're able to work through other sort of things, other sort of, as you play the base game, you are unlocking different sorts of things here. So I'm looking for my office park.
So what are the dots about? The red and the blue? I didn't miss that.
So these red dots are people aren't happy with the parks right now. So they're really happy over here, but they're really not happy over here.
Yeah.
So I can just plop down a couple little parks. Little Japanese garden, put it right in the corner. We have
Look!
with the smiley
They're
face.
all happy.
We have I call them happy bombs. And then we can just go, let's go visit our new Japanese
Little
garden.
Japanese garden. It's got koi in it, doesn't it?
I believe so, yes.
Good.
Put it on the edge so I can zoom in. I can find it better this way. There we go. And we have somebody building next door to it, but here is that little Japanese garden we put down.
Oh,
Got some koi.
yeah, some koi.
Got some
cherry
trees,
Zen
little
garden.
Zen garden, lanterns, and we've got somebody building right next door. So,
Oh, well, they
Little
must
house
be pretty
there.
happy.
and there we
It's
go.
like an expensive condo thing overlooking the Japanese Zen park.
Fitting for the east side.
Yeah,
So,
typical. So
but
they're happy now.
that person's happy now, yeah. So as you click along, like this is how happy people are with healthcare, how happy they are with their fire coverage, how happy they are with the police coverage. Education is not good at all. So I should work on that next too.
There you go.
And that's an elementary
that's
school.
A lot.
And you'll notice too, as you mouse the building along the map, wherever it's green, that tells you who's being served by that service.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got 926 elementary children, and I'm only serving 300 of them right now. So we'll keep building schools along all the industrial or all the residential areas here. That should get us up to 900. And I'll put one more right about here, and that should bring our capacity up to 1,200.
Oh, good.
Now, as your citizens get smarter, they move away from dirty industry. Right now I've got a lot of, I'll show you my very dirty industrial valley here.
Oh.
They will move away from dirty industry towards cleaner technology. They move away from dirtier fuels to cleaner fuels, alternative fuels. I have it all unlocked kind of right now anyway, just to play the game, but...
If I can give a quick thank you, Sue, for the $25 donation to Mike K's Extra Life campaign. That brings him up to $76 raised so far.
All right.
But also, if you're watching the stream, please keep in mind that any donations made to Pete's Extra Life campaign, which you can view on buttonmashbash.org,
Yep.
any donations made to Peter for the next 6 hours, will be matched up to $500.
So a 1-to-1 match. You donate $1, I got a source to give me $1. You
That's-
donate 10, I got 10, all the way up to 500. So
That
we
is
could raise
doubling.
$1,000 in the next 6 hours.
Exactly. That is doubling your donation power.
Yes.
And absolutely. Plus, of course, all donations are eligible for our awesome prize giveaways on buttonmashbash.org. So I encourage you to go check that out. And sorry, Pete.
You're good. That's fine. Just please keep plugging.
Just figured I'd mention that just to make sure we're still on point.
Yes, and yeah, the prizes still apply to the match. So same rules.
Absolutely. So please take advantage of that. Only you can donate money. I mean, like,
Well,
I'm
yes,
sure a lot
yes.
of us can donate money, but like, it's good if you donate money to me.
That works.
That's my aggressive pitch right there. It's good to donate
It's good
money
to
to a
donate.
children's
Well, it is.
hospital.
One of the tenets of philanthropy, right,
Yes.
is that it is good for both the donor and the donee.
Yeah, Peter, have you built the actual children's hospital?
No,
Not
I haven't.
yet.
Not yet.
Well, that,
We haven't
that's
got
a
it.
priority.
Once you do, it's going to be out around the
It's
zoo
gonna be
interchange.
getting into the zoo interchange, but I don't think I can get that far on this particular map because the zoo is way out here and I can't build that far. But
yeah.
we'll put it over here.
Okay, yeah,
Pretty
we'll
close.
stick it
We'll
in.
put
there.
we'll put in a nice hospital complex. And
So let's go ahead and zoom back there. I saw Cathedral Square. Is that new? Did you just build that?
we have kind of Cathedral Square going on here. It just happens to be one of the interesting aspects they put in this game that I haven't seen in other city simulators is death. Death. Your citizens die and they need a place to be buried. So you need to build cemeteries and you need to build crematoriums. And it's actually called death care. Look, I've got little ambulances going all along. They're delivering health care. But yes,
Pretty soon they're going to be delivering them there.
there is a, I wonder if we can find one actually. Hang out by, there's one. You can see there is a hearse. So
That hearse looked like it had monster truck.
there it is, and by the
Right next to the sweet,
there's that sweet little,
the sweet tree hugger car.
yeah, the
there.
hippie beetle there. Right
Yeah.
behind it is the hearse.
That's good.
So-
I like that.
Because people will begin to complain if you have like too many dead people next door to your stuff. You'll get like little messages. I turned them off right now. So
Well, it's really inconvenient
to the
that
top
they
here.
that they would die.
tells me stuff. So, but then yeah, eventually too, like there's 3,000 spots in the cemetery. I've got 300 filled. There is a point where you need to start emptying people out of the cemetery or building more cemeteries. And you have to think about it from an urban planning perspective. That's a lot of land the cemeteries are taking up. But I can build a crematorium. On the other hand,
On the other hand, I'm not sure I like where you're going with this, Pete.
well, they've also put your Sims have different beliefs. Different Sims have different beliefs. Some Sims believe, some Sims don't believe in being
Buried.
cremated.
Cremated.
Yes.
Okay.
So they'd rather be buried. They have preferences. Different groups have different preferences. You kind of have to make sure that everybody's getting what they need to be and be happy. and that's going to help you maximize the number of people that are coming to live in your city. So you've got a lot of issues here again downtown. I think it's because I've been building in high density before the game's ready for high density, just to try and get some bigger buildings in here. But as soon as I put down that Eden project, we're going to start seeing the demand for skyscrapers and stuff just skyrocket. So we will build towards that, just to make it a bit more realistic. At first I gotta give them some lower density, probably higher density. Yeah. So, with the demand for industrial, you can also do offices in this case. In this game, also come part of the industrial store. So as your workforce becomes more educated, they move more towards technology jobs and that kind of thing. You will actually begin to see a progress away from dirty industry towards more like office jobs. Less blue-collar jobs, more white-collar jobs. Which Milwaukee knows very well.
Yeah.
So
I'm fortunate to be one of those nice office jobs myself. So yeah, where are we going next?
we are gonna keep building some high schools. So I have 1,800 high schoolers that need to be educated. I have educated 0.
Ooh, that's not good.
So we're gonna build some high schools.
Well, which high school are you building?
Well, let's see. We could do Riverside since we're on this side of town,
Yeah.
and Locust Street would probably come in.
Isn't there one right next to the Schlitz Park area, around Brewers Hill?
There is. There's the Milwaukee School of the Arts.
Ah, okay.
We could build a Milwaukee. That's actually a K-12 school, but
okay.
that'll work because it looks like this. It's very interesting, actually. They took an old. A lot of cities had a certain municipal architecture would design municipal buildings. Police stations, schools, fire stations, and in Milwaukee, they had a lot of their public school design. There was our biggest period of growth was in the 1910s, 1920s. So we had a lot of schools built during that era that all kind of looked the same. But one of the things they drove for was the use of windows. One, lots of ventilation, there was no air conditioning at this time. 2, just light. Natural light was the most effective, most efficient to use. The Milwaukee School of the Arts had an unfortunate makeover in the 60s, the way they boarded it up 3/4 of all these big windows. So you got this. So if you're a kid in school, you have this much window to look through, and this much of it is just all boarded up.
It really feels like a commentary on public education.
I mean, it was.
Yeah. So Veronica adds, I could listen to you talk about Milwaukee for days.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I don't have a book to sell yet.
Give it a little time.
I mean, I did. It's kind of a joke. We did bring my. It's a very small portion of my library.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, cities. I like cities. I'm a city slicker. Just I actually studied architecture and urban planning for a while. I have a minor in urban studies, which is just how politics and population and some anthropology and some humanitarian, human services and that kind of thing, all combined into one study about how do cities actually function. How does the built environment affect people's moods? Questions like that. And it's actually
A dog!
Milwaukee is there's dogs. It's a dog! It's a dog! Hey, it's a dog! It's a dog! Look at a dog! It's a dog! It's a dog! It's a dog! It's doing dog things.
Look at the dog! Look at him shaking his head!
There's a dog at school. Why is there a dog at school?
I don't know. It's bring your dog to school day.
Alright.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
But I mean, just going back to that, this game wasn't originally designed for me to be able to see that there's a dog there. But Paradox put the dog there. So it's just like the amount of detail to put in this game is just so intense, and I think that's what makes it a lot of fun too.
I'm just gonna check on something. I'll be back.
Yes, we're still working our way through some tech
We're still
things.
working on getting some of that tech stuff figured out.
As soon as we get that figured out. But I guess I should continue to educate people. I suppose high school education is important. High school education is important.
High school education is important.
Yep.
Post high school.
That is one weird thing too. For some reason, there's some buildings in this game that create massive traffic issues.
Yeah.
The university's one of those. Just
All the kids get dropped off at school.
massive traffic headaches. I actually have a city where I built a university at the edge of a very long road just to alleviate the traffic congestion. Like, nothing else is up this mile-long road but a university. And it's worked. So, it's yeah, just like, oh, I've got some sick Sims over here. Wait, they're not Sims. Sorry, wrong city simulator. I've got some sick citizens here. Let's see what the issue is. Is it healthcare? Yes, they, citizens.
It's like Sim City, but this time it's city.
They are actually called Sims, but with a C. Yeah, that's just like our Penny's Diner and our whatever it was, Slindy's Subs or whatever. So. Oh yeah, I've seen that page actually. But there are a number of bridges that go right across the river downtown, and then everything kind of takes a shift. So. But that's the best part about that. So we'll build all of our bridges downtown. There. So you have a lot of different road options in this game too. If I build roads without trees, you can't park along those streets, which is a little weird. But traffic moves through slower because there's less cars parked on the side of the road. Plus, it slightly improves people's morale if they've got a tree-lined street versus not one. So. And yeah, my residential demand is just taking off. I'm going to try and keep up here to keep the game moving along. These people want a health center. There you go. Be healthier. Be healthy! There, they're getting healthier. So... Hey, we've got our first large business moving in here. Right there. The first tower that's growable is ploppable. Ploppable means you've got it already as a tile set and put it down. Growable means it just naturally appears throughout the progression of the game. So that's a good sign for allowing us to get some taller buildings.
Wow, that game's really realistic.
I know, right? Jeez.
Yeah.
Don't affect for that at all now. We just had some sirens outside, but yeah, we're good now. We're good.
Alright.
So I'm actually going to put down the university about where the university is in Milwaukee, UW Milwaukee, my alma mater, and we'll go from there.
Well, hey Pete.
Yes.
We are going to actually jump back to our main stream for a bit.
All right.
We're still working on getting everything set up for that, so we'll definitely be coming back to you a little bit later.
Yes.
But you have an existing Twitch stream, right?
I do. You can follow me on Skinny Peter M.
Okay. We'll post that.
We'll post that on the
Yeah,
chat.
we'll post it in the chat. So if you want to keep watching him build Milwaukee, you totally can. You can totally. You can put it in the background. He's probably not going to be.
Probably won't be saying too much.
And it looks like Big Rig's finally crashed. So
wow, what a shame.
Pardon?
RZ. Yes, the proper name for Big Rigs.
So we're going to cut out again for a little bit. We're going to switch the main feed over to Duck Game. We're going to take a pass on Werewolf this year, unfortunately. But we'll be booting up some Duck Game. And people will be streaming on his, and we'll post that in the chat.
Yep,
So,
and the thing still applies. I believe we have until 7 o'clock tonight?
yes, you
Yes.
have until 7 o'clock, or, well, no.
8? Is it till 8?
What time is it?
What time did I start at? 2?
What time is it?
Well, it's currently 4, so I must have started at 3.
You started at 3, so
3 plus 7 is 10. There we go, I can do math. So until
the end of King of Bash.
yes.
So yeah. Plus, there's all sorts of stuff to win in the meantime. But we're going to go ahead and end this stream here now.
Yep.
We're going to be offline for a couple of moments, but then we'll be right back, okay?
Thanks for hanging on.
Yep.